Yesterday, it was announced that Solary will now host their first official Trackmania tournament. In fact, it will be the biggest team tournament ever in Trackmania with 5,000 euros on the line. We already know the four captains. We have invited players, but it also will be an open qualifier for everyone who wants to participate in this event. I'm joined by the co-founder of Solary, Chap. Chap, it's a pleasure to meet you again. Last time was at Paris Games Week. How are you dealing with this COVID-19 situation, first of all?
Well, I'm a streamer. I work from home. I'm a gamer. I play mostly home, so doesn't change much for me.
Hmm. But you said that you work from home, but is it like, has Solary been impacted? I mean, you're a group of streamers streaming together. Will you say that
Yeah.
you have been impacted somewhat?
Well, we at the place where we work and where we stream usually. Since the COVID situation, we mostly stream from our homes, each ones. So like there is no more. I mean, for like 2 months, there was no group stream. It was only online group stream. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't change much in the end. It's like more of a camera thing, but I mean, we need to see people in the end, and we are eager like to go back to our place and work together again.
Hmm. We obviously the biggest event in Trackmania is the Serati Trackmania Cup that is cancelled. Has Solary had to cancel some upcoming events or some planned things, projects, or anything because of the COVID-19?
We plan to do events like on League of Legends offline events in the Solary office, but in the end we won't be doing that this year. We like the Solary Cup on Trackmania was meant to be offline event,
Oh, really?
but was meant to be an offline event, and we will do it online, obviously. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us, and that's already big.
Hmm. Yesterday, the news about you guys hosting this event broke, but you already said that you had the plans for this. Can you tell us when did this plan come up, and what was the reason why you said, "Okay, we have the best player in Trackmania. Now we also want to host something." How did this all start?
Uh, like we organize tournaments on every of our esport titles. Like we have League of Legends, Hearthstone, Fortnite, Smash, Super Smash, and Trackmania. And Trackmania was the only tournament. I mean, the only game where we didn't organize tournament yet. So yeah, that's why we created one. And because we have annual sponsorship with Objective Code, which is the sponsor of the event, and in the deal with I mean Objective Code, we had to organize one or two cup. Since the new game will arrive really soon, there is high probability we do another Salary Cup like later in the year. But yeah, that's why we made one already in the upcoming weeks.
Hmm. And tell us, how did you plan out the format? I mean, you have two of the best players in your team. You have CarlJr, you have Bren. Has they been involved with this, or has this been like from the head office and down?
Now, obviously, we made it with them. Like we were on Discord, and we are like, okay, how will we do it? It needs to be like fun, but try hard. So it's like not open. It's open for everyone, but obviously there is high chance like the pro qualifies. But I mean, it's like in the map. For example, there is two mapped by professional mapper, and one map mapped by us, the streamer. We are like free mapping the map, so we made like one person, one person, and it made a whole map. And that's obviously a map where it's it won't be probably as cool as to play as the other one. And there's like that the format in itself with the okay, there will be a bid on player, like for captain they will draft the players. So there's that, and obviously there is a secret draw. A secret draw things like it's every match is in 4 match, so it's 2v2, 2v2, 4v4, 4v4, and if in the end it's a draw, the last draft player will play 1v1 on our custom amateur map. So it will be as random as possible on this side.
But we obviously now know the 4 captains. We have 8 invited players. I mean, obviously, CarlJr and Bren is going to be invited because they are part of your
Yeah.
team. But tell us, what was the reason behind picking Papu and Coco as the 2 other captains?
We needed like French player for captain because it's like way easier for us to for the draft. It's simple as that. We were like planning to ask for Aurel, but I think Aurel is not available for the event. And we replaced Aurel by Coco, and here goes our captain draft.
So essentially, the best French-speaking players, or
Yeah, exactly.
But then 8 other players there. Some surprises like Berg is back. Carl, the world champion from 2006, is back. How did you end up with these 8 players?
We let the full choice of the player to Carl and Bren because I don't know every. I mean, I know the TMGL player and some of the OGL ones, but I don't know much about the scene on Trackmania. So we let I let the choice of the player to Carl and Bren, and they choose who they invited, basically.
Let me ask you this then: is there any players in the cup that you haven't seen play yet?
I don't think I've watched Carl play. I mean, the old Carl.
Yeah.
And I don't think I watched Bergie play. Yeah, I saw Bergie like at the Lyon Esport,
Yeah.
but I didn't see him play yet.
No, manager, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's cool to bring him back, and hopefully he will have somewhat of a level, so he's not like far behind. I mean, he's playing against the best players in the world here.
Yeah, but there will be like a time attack where every player will be set in a tier, and that will be how the draft will go. Like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And if he's the last tier, it's no problem. He won't be alone.
Okay. Yeah, because one of the coolest things I saw about this cup was the fact that now you will have captains picking their team. I think that is going to be hilarious. Can you tell people how is that going to go down? Who will get the first pick? Is it CarlJr because he's the best player? Will he go last because he is the best player? How will this work out?
It's not about first pick and everything. It's like we bring one player. Every captain say an amount secretly, and we open all the amount, and the biggest amount get the player.
Okay. Is that what you do in League of Legends and the others?
No. In League of Legends, we're like 50, 100, you know.
Okay.
But like since it's in real life, it's easier, I think, to do that. But and it's funnier, I think. And since it's on Discord, it's easier to do like blind bid.
Yeah. Can you tell people about the Open Qualifier? I mean, this is 5,000 euros on the line. It's the biggest team tournament ever. So I assume a lot of professional or good players in Trackmania will try this out. How can they try it out, and how can they eventually qualify?
You have to go on the server, and then you type /register, and then you're in. You can go on the Discord to get as many information as you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There will be a time attack, I think, and there will be a time attack where the 68 best player will get in the brackets, and then it's a bracket to top 4, and top 4 gets qualified for next week.
We saw I saw some people within the community saying, "Okay, it's a big tournament, 5,000 euros. It's not something we have that often in Trackmania. Why is not all slots free? Why is not all slots qualified? Can you tell people what is the reason essentially why 12 people already are in?
We decided to invite some of the player. Basically, like there was we needed to have some cool and talkative guys for the stream. Basically, because it's a stream event for us from our side as well. So we need to have like talkative guys and not like super shy guy for the show. I mean, and but we didn't want to invite like 16 player because we knew it gonna do a shitstorm in the community if you couldn't qualify. So we let 4 slots open for the best, and if you're the best, you then can play the Solary Cup.
But have you ever followed like a team tournament in Trackmania, or has you basically followed team tournament in other games? Because team tournaments isn't that big when it comes to this kind of stage. I mean, this is the biggest in the history of the game with the prize pool you have.
Well, obviously in League of Legends, every tournament is a team tournament, but yeah, followed some on Smash. Not, I mean, if you consider the 2v2 on the Trackmania ZRT, it's a team tournament, but not on Trackmania, I think. So it's kind of new for me, and no, we'll see how it goes. But I hope it goes well.
You already talked a little bit about the second edition. Will the format? Do you already know the format, or will you take this as a learning process and see how you will change it eventually to make it even better?
Yeah, we'll take it as a learning process because I don't know when it will be exactly. We don't know yet the format.
Yeah.
But there is high chance it's a team. It will be a team tournament again, I think, because I mean the Solary Cup are most of them are like fun events. Even though there is a big cash prize for Trackmania on the finish line, we hope like people take it more as a fun event than a full tryhard event. Kind of like the ZRT Cup in the end. But yeah, we don't know yet about the other one. We don't even know about the next game if it will be as easy to map or anything. But we hope it would be as good as the first one, even better.
You are obviously one of the biggest streaming channels that has influenced Trackmania with the Solary. You personally casted a grand final at the Paris Games Week of the beta season. Can you tell people, the French people and the international people, how can they follow this cup once the Open Qualifier goes live and once the final phase goes live?
We will cast obviously the last part. I mean, we won't cast the time attack. I think maybe Bren and Carl will cast it on their channels, but I doubt it. To be honest, I don't think casting a time attack is a super fun thing. But we will cast, I mean, the bracket, the qualifier for the top 4, and obviously we'll cast the entire thing on Solary the next week. It will be on 2 days, I think, like Saturday and Sundays, like 3 or 4 hours a day. I don't know exactly the hours. I need to check it again. But we'll cast it on the Solary channel on Twitch, and yeah, that's it.
For the international fans, then, are you going to allow some English casters, or will it be some POVs of the players, or will they also have to tune into the Solary channel?
There will be POVs allowed, as long as you put like the tournament logo and the sponsor logo on the channel. But there will be POV allowed. So if you're an international fan and you don't get anything about French, you can watch the POV. But there is possibility that we allow an international cast. We'll see that inside Solary, but it's possible, and we need to think about it.
Yeah. Last question about the Solary Cup. We have 4 captains. I'm going to ask you the hard question. Who are you? Are you Team Bren? Are you Team CarlJr? Team Papu or Team Coco?
I mean, obviously, I'm more like a Team Bren or Team Carl, but I don't know. I mean, oh my, I think I will be Team CarlJr for this one.
Okay. There we have it. Team CarlJr on this one. I will go Team Brendan, so you have a little
Okay,
battle there.
perfect.
But obviously, you are a well-known figure in the French streaming scene. But I think you're somewhat unknown to the international Trackmania fan. Can you tell people how did you eventually get into Trackmania? What is your way into this game that we all love?
Well, I used to play a bit of Trackmania back in my days, like 2012. I think I played a bit of Trackmania, like not. I don't think I even played on servers. I played like the offline maps, and then nothing till 2017, where we were invited by Zerator to the Trackmania Cup in Toulouse. I think it was, or maybe it was.
Leon, yeah.
And okay, that was the next year then.
Yeah.
We were invited by Zerator, and like we saw the event with the other Solary guys, and we were like, okay, that's epic. We need to get players. And then Carl and Bren left Zerator because there was like conflict of interest with Zerator, like being the organizer and his player winning the cup. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand his move. So we took Carl and Bren as their free agents, and then we're like we were rolling. We are casting the TMGL. We love casting our players, so casting the TMGL was like a learning experience for me and for Wax, my co-caster, because obviously we don't know much about the game, and we were like kinda shit talked by the hardcore Trackmania, the hardcore Trackmania viewer. They were like, "What the fuck are they saying about They don't know anything." And yeah, so sure, you're right. I don't know anything about the game, but now I think I know a bit more, and I think I'm like obviously not the best caster, but I can talk about the game, and you can take me a bit serious. I'm not like virtual. I know he's casting a lot, or Nick Schreier, our Lunary caster, but I can understand the game a bit.
Hmm. But that is a good point that you bring up here, because I feel like once you come in, once some big figure comes into the scene to eventually try to help it, you have this community that is so like, why do you get this opportunity? Why are you put in this spotlight when essentially all you wanted to do is to help the game grow and to help to give more visibility? Do you feel like this game has maybe a too much of a elitist approach, that they are not that welcoming to new people, and instead of maybe trying to help them, they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Go away. We want someone else to cast. We don't want you here.
I mean, Zerator kinda had to deal with it as well. The hardcore's Trackmania player was like, his map are dog shit. You can't even play on it and everything. But in the end, it's like the biggest organizer, the Trackmania organizer in the world, and the next Trackmania game is wait. How do you say that? Is pushed back, because I'm not sure about what I'm saying, but I think they pushed back the next Trackmania game because Zerator couldn't handle the Trackmania Cup in Paris. So yeah, in the end, the impact of a random Trackmania player on the game is super insane, super massive. And yeah, for me, I'm like, I can understand the players from niche games wanting like it's like their games, you know. It's they take it very very serious, because they're like animating the community, doing the tournaments and everything. And I can understand that bringing exposure to that is not what they want, basically, because they like how it goes, and they don't want it to change. But in the end, I think it's better for everyone if the game gets more exposure, and more like cash prize and more tournaments and more fans and everything. Because if your games grind in the esports tier, and I think Trackmania can grind because it's like super esport oriented game. It's better for everyone, even though the hardcores won't be agree. I think it's better for everyone.
So you think giving or bringing big streamers into playing this game is maybe one of the better marketing strategies Ubisoft can have, because then you have big players giving spotlight to eventually new potential players instead of maybe just having the hardcores stick together.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like, I mean, editors pay people for playing this game, not for playing Trackmania, for playing games in general. It's like a sponsored stream, and you get it for free on Trackmania. Of course, Ubisoft is gonna be happy with that. I mean, from a editor point of view, it's like super insane having Zerator doing his tournament, But for the hardcore players' point of view, like for example, the hardcore player of Red Shadow Legends, I'm not sure they like the way I don't know the editor of Red Shadow Legends, but I don't think they're fine with the way they advertise the game over the internet, And having Zerator bringing this much exposure on the game is like it's so free, for the for Nadio. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to bash the Serrator for building bad maps, sure, go ahead. But
Yeah,
in the
sure.
end, I mean, he changed the game, and you can even go as far as to say that he saved Trackmania, because now Ubisoft cares about the game. Now they want to now they even hold Trackmania Grand League. That's essentially
Yeah,
a motivation from the Serati Trackmania Cup.
of
So,
course.
yeah.
I mean, I there was like no Nadeo hosted events like before, I don't think. No?
No, this is the first
So
one.
yeah, of course, having a league, and the league is like top tier. What you can do in esports scene, there is like small tournaments or side tournaments, even though like ESL or anything, they are big structure. They're like still side tournaments, and the editor organized league is like the best you can do on the league, on the game, I mean. And having Nadio doing that because of Zerator is quite insane.
We talk a lot about Serrator here, so I'm obviously then going to ask, what did you think about once you got the news that we will not be in Accor Hotels Arena this summer? I mean, you probably plan to go there. I mean,
Yeah.
for personally, it was the highlight of the whole year, but now it's cancelled. How did you feel about once you heard that the Serati Trackmania Cup cannot go, at least in the offline phase of the year?
Of course, I had my spot here. I wanted to go, and of course, but what can you do? I
Yeah.
mean, the COVID strike,
But do you believe that he will host it again next year? I mean, you're French speaking, so you probably understand the situation better than me.
Mm.
Do you think that we will have it in 2021?
Well, I don't think he communicated about this. But I hope we'll have it next year. But knowing Zerator, there's little chance it doesn't happen.
But let's talk about something that you also brought up with Serrator, and then the new game being pushed back because the Serati Cup is cancelled. I asked Hillis about it. He said that, okay, this is actually the reason, because if Serati Cup took place, they had to release the game, but now they had freedom to postpone the game. But have you seen any footage from the new game, heard any information? And if so, what is your first impression of this new Trackmania game?
Well, I don't have anything more than the people on Twitter, or like at the Lyon Esport when they presented the game. So yeah, I'm quite I'm really eager to play it. Of course, I I will be still bad at it, but it's like always it's always hype when a new game goes out, because everyone wanna play it, and everyone is gonna spam it for. I mean, the casual gonna spam it for like 2 weeks or anything. So yeah, it's like the the timing where a game goes out. It's like the best timing you can get, like for a streamer or for even as a viewer. I think it's the best timing.
But I think it was this week, early this week, there was a lot of backlash because of this subscription model, or that they didn't call it a subscription model. What did you think about this pricing model where they have like three different accesses? One is free, one is a standard, and then you have to pay 60 euros for 3 years if you want to play like Trackmania Grand League, host servers, and build skins or create skins.
Mm. I think it's a well. I don't know what you get from the second tier. The second tier.
You can play online, but you cannot like go and create your own servers. You cannot create skins, but you can somewhat compete in tournaments. But I guess you have to get
Okay.
the highest tier to create servers and check in a Grand League.
Okay. I think the free Trackmania is kind of like a call product. Like you want to play, you want to try the game. Everyone will be able to try the game. The mechanics, the offline part of the game. But Trackmania is like 90%. 90% of Trackmania is online, and 90% of Trackmania is playing on server with people and having tournaments online, etc. And it's like €9 for 3 years.
No,
That's right.
the standard is 10 euros for 1 year, and you can play for the club action. You can pay 30 euros for 1 year, or then you can get like 2 for 3 with paying 60 for 3 years. So the 3 years is only for club edition.
Okay. Well, I don't know what you get extra from the club edition beside as you told me,
Yeah.
having hosting servers and everything. But yeah, I think it's fine. People are used to free to play because of like League of Legends and everything. And like Last Trackmania is paying.
Hmm.
It's paying. I don't know. To be fair, I have I'm shared on the idea of having a paying game but a free game at the same time. It depends on what you get, honestly.
Yeah.
But paying for playing online doesn't seem too amazing for me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the same feedback or first reaction I had, because that's, I mean, if you're a casual player, what you want to do is to play online with your
Yeah, of
friends and
course.
then leave again. So I also wish that that was for free, but
Mm.
subscription model is that this will be the final game that it release, and for every year you pay, they will continue with updates instead of like releasing a new game every time. Do you think that this is better move for, let's say, I mean, your players, CarlJr and Bren, they are hardcores. They want the game to develop for them. Do you think this is a better move for, let's say, the hardcore players?
I think esports wise is the best move to like, okay, you say, okay, this is our last Trackmania, but it will be the Trackmania on where every esport is gonna take place, and you don't release any other Trackmania. So you have one game where every tournament is played for, I don't know, 20 or 40 years. Like last Trackmania, you had the Nation, you had the old Trackmania. I don't know how many old Trackmania there is, but like there's like
Yeah.
4 or 5, I don't know.
I mean, you have, for in stadium environment, you have Trackmania ESWC, Trackmania Nations Forever, and then Trackmania 2 Stadium. But in overall, I guess there's like 15 Trackmania titles. So
Yeah,
there's a lot to confusion, right?
it's so much easier for the esports scene to
Yeah.
grow if there is like one Trackmania and there's update about it. Like CS:GO or League of Legends, there's one game. I mean, no, that's CS:GO. It's not a good example, but it's like one game, and you stay on it for like 15 years, and it's so much easier for the ecosystem, and for the players. If it's an abonnement, I don't know. It's like paying a new game every 3 years. Doesn't seem that much to me. But if you're used to free stuff, of course, you're gonna find it revolting.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't seem too bad for me. I mean, for players, but esport wise, it's obviously the best thing to do.
One of the problems in Trackmania is to keep like a casual player and to keep new players.
Mm.
And I think from the hardcore scene, which I am involved with, we might live too much inside our own bubble. If you, as a more, let's say, like an outside viewer, what is Trackmania missing the most to keep these casual players? How can we keep the Trackmania players that is coming in staying longer and eventually try to play this monthly, daily, weekly for years and years?
I think Trackmania need the ranking system. I think that's obviously the best thing to do to keep player engaged over the years, because like right now you have a ranking system, but it's really random, right? And you play on servers, and you basically can't. I mean, you can play for fun, like on LoL maps and everything, but if you're a casual player, you can't play anything else, and it's like, I don't know. There is no goal, to you play a map, you try your best on this map, and then it's another map, and then you try the best on this map, and there's no overall goal. If you're an esport player, of course you want to be the best, and you want to compete in tournaments. But if you're a casual player, you can't even compete in tournament because you get smashed by the pro players. And having a ranking system would be the best thing for Trackmania. But I think it's really hard to do for in a racing game, because there is no competition 1v1 or 5v5 or anything. It's like doing the best time on the map. I don't know, maybe time attacks thing. I don't know. I just don't know. But I think ranking system is like the key for having player on a long time.
Hmm. Let's go back to talk a little bit about your players and then Trackmania Grand League that is coming up, hopefully in the summer and then in September. Last year, or last season rather, you had the winner in CarlJr playing for Solary. You had Bren playing for Lunary. There was a lot of reactions within the hardcore scene. I mean, this is a cheap way to get 2 slots. Can you tell people why did Bren play for Lunary? Why did CarlJr play for Solary? Can you clear the situation up? And what were you told by Ubisoft Mondeo about the situation?
So yeah, in the start of everything, we had Solary, Bren, and Carl. So both players were under the Solary name. Lunary is a sister team to Solary. Basically, it's like same organization, different name. And Trackmania Grand League, Nadio didn't want us to have 2 players under the same name, so we had to rename. I mean, we had to give another team to Bren, but like half, or no, not half, but there was like 3 or 4 orgless player. So we were like, okay, we get it, but there is like 3 or 4 orgless player in the league, and you don't want us to have two Solary player. So they allowed us for the first split to have 2 players basically on the same organization, as long as we communicated about the fact that Bren is Lunary and Carl is Solary. But it won't happen in the next split. Like, we will forced to part ways with Bren, because they don't allow. It's like either we part away with Bren, or he stays Solary, but he can't play the TMGL. And I think we all think it's a waste to not let Bren be able to play the TMGL.
Hmm.
So yeah, there is a high chance we part ways with Bren, and we let him find another organization to sponsor him for the cup. But there is no doubt he will find a good organization. We're trying to help him find the best organization he can get. And yeah, that's why we had Lunary Bren and Solary Carl.
But I think you bring up a good point there when you essentially explain why you wanted 2 players in the season. I mean, if Bren wasn't playing for Solary or Lunary, he would be a free agent and not get any support. Do you think that that can maybe be the case for this season too, as well? That you end up with 1 player per org, but you also end up with maybe some teamless players that won't get any support, and maybe has to work harder, maybe has to do other stuff in life to play Trackmania. I mean, you miss something basically by playing Trackmania Grand League instead of that adding something to you.
Yeah. Well, in the next Trackmania Grand League season, it will be on the new the new game. So Nadio is getting a new economical system where it's much more interesting for the teams, the structures, the esports team to get players. So I don't think there will be a Orgless player in the next split. I think if there will be no Orgless player at all. But yeah, I think it's Nadio is taking good steps, and like the economical system that they presented us is like miles ahead of like some other game like Rocket League or even I mean there's no economical system in Fortnite, but I wouldn't say Fortnite. But it's like miles ahead, and it's really refreshing to play to have to deal with Nadeo.
So you think the new game will help bringing big ores into the game because of this
Yeah, no doubt,
economical? Yeah.
no doubt, no doubt.
But then you obviously, I mean, you're gonna keep the best players in the world, which is CarlJr, the greatest of all time. Have you re-signed a contract with him? How long do you actually have him for? Do you know?
Yeah, we plan to re-sign him for 2 years, like really soon. So if you're a team, don't even try.
Maybe I should go in and support him, but I'm gonna pay for his taxi trip to winning the Trackmania Grand League. So I mean, maybe.
Eirik sponsor.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But can you maybe try to put into words what Solary thinks about CarlJr? How happy are you with what he's performing? Because as a hardcore fan who follows Jackmania, I mean, this guy is. I mean, what he did in Lyon is unheard of. I mean, the winner bracket final there was next level, and he's playing against the best players in the world, and he looks like it was me playing. He won basically every round. So yeah, what do you Solary think about CarlJr? What do you think about what this guy is performing in the game Trackmania?
Well, we can't be anything but happy. Like it's by far. I mean, it's really by far the greatest player of Trackmania at the moment, and probably of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like super cool guy, and he's super happy with Solary, and we're super happy with him. And yeah, it's and he helps us organizing the tournament. So only positive point, and he never loses. He never loses. Like it's like you supporting the PSG in League One. You know,
Yeah.
they never loses. So it's so easy.
But isn't it weird that I mean CarlJr is a big name in France, obviously because of the Solary Trackmania Cup, but sometimes maybe people forget that he is from Canada. Do you
Yeah.
think that maybe Ubisoft and Deo should try to help promote him in North America? For me, it looks like an obvious way into that market with saying we have the greatest player of all time from North America being the best in a French-made game.
Yeah, but right now I think like the community is like 80 or 70% French. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe in the future they will do that, but right now, as long as it's insert on the Trackmania Stadium game, it probably won't change. But it's possible that they do that in the new game. I don't know what they have in mind, but yeah, that might be a good idea.
Hmm. Okay, so last topic from me is going to be something I don't know too much about, but from what I understand and what I was able to find about you is that you are a League of Legends player. Can you tell people what do we need to know about you as a League of Legends player? Can you tell people how did you start even?
Okay. I start League of Legends like back in season 1 of the game, so it was 2011. In the summer 2011, I just had my wait. I will in French we call it brevet des collèges, but like in English I don't know, my license.
Okay, yeah,
No,
sure.
it's not that. It's like I get my my student thing like I was 15, back in the year, and my parents gave me a computer, like a laptop, and I was playing like Call of Duty back in the day, and I started playing League of Legends in season 1 at that time, and then I played the game, got good, kinda, and then I got recruited by Eclipsia back in the day. It was a web TV like Solary we got, but it was in Ashford in the UK. So I was streaming for Eclipsia. And then we left Eclipsia back in 2017. We created Solary with 8 other streamers of Eclipsia. And then we took place in Tours in France. Created, no, that's not the word, but we made our office, kinda. It was like a huge, let me translate, a huge deposit.
Okay.
It was a huge deposit. So we made it kinda an office. We tried. So now it's like livable. You can sleep in it, and it's cool. It's good living. And then we recruited Fortnite TV in Solary. So now we had Fortnite TV. We had the 2 qualified Fortnite player for the World Championship. We reached like peak audience of like 200k viewers at the same time on Twitch. Like that's our peak performance. And then we recruited Hearthstone TV, and we recruited Gluttony on Trackmania on Super Smash, which is the best French player by very far, like even the best European player. And then Trackmania and TMGL and everything,
But can you tell people, are you now more leaning towards being a streamer, caster, or do you still have some personal goals within gaming yourself? Is there some events you want to train hard for, or is it more enjoy the games?
No. I'm still a League of Legends streamer. Like I stream daily, at least 3 hours, and I'm like still in the top 500 EU. So yeah, I'm still a good League of Legends player, but I don't aim for professional gaming anymore. Like I think I'm a bit too old anyway. So even if I wanted, I couldn't. Um, I just stream. I'm trying to organize events on different games, and yeah, that's how it goes.
Hmm. From an outside point of view, it looks like the Solary is like a close group of friends that is streaming together.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, are you looking for new players or new streamers? And if so, do they have to speak French? I know a guy who speaks English and Norwegian and might want to come to Paris and stream. Looking at myself.
Like we only do web TV. That's like we're like 8-10 on a channel Twitch, and we stream for the whole days and for the whole weeks and everything. So that's how web TV goes. We only do that on League of Legends, Hearthstone, Fortnite in French for now. Maybe in the future we'll go international, but I don't think the web TV system is viable on the international stage. So yeah, for now, I'm sorry, but your friend cannot come to Paris and cast Trackmania for us yet.
Yeah. I need to practice my French, you say.
Yeah, maybe.
But okay, then a final question for me: do you think that there is maybe a problem for Trackmania, that Trackmania is so big in France that once you maybe are a new player and join something, it's not like international language is being spoken; it's French. So maybe let's say a guy from, I don't know, Italy or Denmark might be scared away because this game is so insanely huge in France compared to the other countries.
Well, maybe Nadeo should do like national server.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe an Italian server or anything, but I think maybe with the next Trackmania it will be like the French will be like the wait, let me translate. Diluted?
Sure.
Diluted. Okay, maybe the French will be diluted in the in the with the international players. So maybe it's a good time to start the game.
Yeah. That's it for me. That's it for my questions. But I always leave the floor open for the guests if there's anything I forgot to ask you. Is there any information about Solary Cup? Any information about upcoming projects? Any new recruitments in Trackmania? Is there anything I forgot to ask you about?
Well, no new recruit, as you know. We can't have two players on the same league, but yeah, nothing much to say about the Solary Cup. You can participate on the server, type / register if you wanna register and we wanna play. And yeah, I hope you're the best and you can qualify.
That's it for me, and that's it for this podcast. If you want to participate in the Open Qualifiers, it's June 14th, and if you want to follow this cup, it's June 20th and June 21st. Thanks again for stepping up and doing this interview. As I said on Twitter some months ago, it's surprisingly easy to do interviews with like French big streamers compared to like Trackmania players who I tried to get for 2 years now and they're still not on the podcast. But hey, I ask you, you said sure, no problem, and you step up. So once again, it's appreciated how easy it is to deal with guys like yourself and other French streamers.
It's always a pleasure.
That's it for today. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.